your attention, please. So we've had a lot of snow days, and things have gotten a little foggy. We are going to start the study guide for the test. But before we do that, I need to go through and just refresh your memory about y equals mx plus b. So when you look at this line, we have y equals something plus or minus something. This goes along with the formula y equals mx plus b. So the first thing we have to do is I usually try to pick the y-intercept first. So looking at this graph, raise your hand when you can tell me what the y-intercept would be. I should see lots of hands. What's the y-intercept? Maddie Hall?
6.
How many people agree with her? All right, so when I click on this second button, you notice the choices at the bottom change, and I can put in 6 by clicking on it. So that part's done. Now, Maddie, was it a positive 6 or a negative 6?
Positive.
Because we have to also decide the sign. This is what happens on this stat quiz for a lot of kids. You get this right, and you forget to pick a sign, so you get it wrong. Do you see how tricky that is? So we know that this is a positive 6, so when I click on the plus sign, the subtraction sign goes away. Tell your neighbor right now what the tricky part is so you remember to do that. Okay, next, turning back to me. We have a slope here. Who can tell me if it's going to be a positive or a negative slope? Ellie?
Positive.
Positive. So we can ignore the whole bottom row of our choices, right? We know it's going to be one of the positives. Now we have to count between dots to find rise over run in simplest form. So go ahead and do that. Raise your hand when you know. If you need to come closer, you may. Raise your hand when you have it. Tatum, what do you see?
5 over 1.
5 over 1, which we know would simplify to 5. So we're going to come down here and choose 5x. And then when we're ready to check, we can hit OK, and certainly we got that one right. All right, so now from where you are, I want you to look at this line, and you're going to write on your journal in the work section just the y equals mx plus b, and then we'll put it in and we'll put it out. Have you put your pencil in the air when you're ready to go on? Y equals mx plus b. Looking for pencils to do right. My trick is that it helps to start with the y-intercept. Write that down first, then find the slope. We're finishing up. Josh, where is the y-intercept on this one?
0, 0.
On 0, 0. So as we look down at what we're going to put in, we can see that there isn't a sign, a place for the y-intercept, right? So they know that it's going to be 0, 0 as well. So now all I need is the slope. And so, Kinsey, what did you get for the slope?
4x.
Okay, the slope is 4, right?
Yeah.
And the x is the coordinate. So how many people agree that it's y equals 4x? And indeed, we got that one right. So here's the next one. Go ahead and write down y equals mx plus b and put in the correct numbers. Elizabeth, what did you get for the y-intercept?
That's the first one and second.
The y-intercept, you tell me.
1x.
That would be slope, right?
Oh, 2.
2, okay, so 2 is the y-intercept, and the slope is up 1 and over 1, so we know it's 1x. And how do we write 1x? So this would say y equals 1x plus 2. But do you usually see it written like that? So the way we would write it as mathematicians is y equals x plus 2. Okay, one more I want to try together. We are really good when it's given to us in slope-intercept form, but sometimes it's not. So on your journal, write down negative 9x plus y equals negative 5. Now the first job that we have is we have to change this into y equals mx plus b formula, right? Our y is here, so that's a good thing, but what else is here? So we want to move negative 9x to this side. What can you do with the negative 9x to cancel it out? Cooper?
We do the opposite operation.
Opposite, good, so we would add a positive 9x. So, negative 9x plus y plus 9x equals negative 5 plus 9x. These two will cancel each other out, and we're left with y here. Then here we're allowed to rearrange these because of the commutative property. So I can put the positive 9x first, and then minus 5. The only thing you have to be careful about is remembering that the sign is attached to the term. Right? The sign is attached to the term. So now what I would like you to do is tell me what the slope and what the y-intercept is of that problem. Morgan, what do you think the slope is?
9,
And the y-intercept?
negative 5.
How many people agree with him? Good. Okay, that's our refresher for today. We're ready for today's work. If you have any questions, this video will be in Edmodo, so you can go and review it. You will have that quiz that looks just like the one we did.